if you hold a US visa, are navigating an status extension, or travel frequently through major American airports, pay close attention to what's happening on federal runways across the country. Well, the Department of Homeland Security is quietly reconstructing its entire aviation fleet logistics, parking dozens of chartered aircraft while dramatically scaling up targeted airport enforcement and expedited removal operation. According to reports from the New York Times and aviation tracking data, federal authorities are fundamentally altering how immigration enforcement operates at ports of entry, transmit hubs, and charter flight network. And this isn't the story about aircraft contracts. It is a direct shift in operational strategy that impacts everybody living and working in the US under federal immigration oversight. Now, to understand what is happening, we need to look at the massive mechanics of ICE, air operations, and federal charter contracts. For years, Homeland Security has relied on a network of private charter carriers, including Global X, Eastern Express, and Avelo Airlines, to move the individuals between detention centers and process international removal flight. In fact, recent reports now reveal that DHS has faced intense scrutiny over millions of dollars spent on the parked, idle aircraft and underutilized flight capability. This is prompting a massive operation overhaul now. Instead of relying solely on long-term idle plane leases, DHS and ICE are pivoting towards dynamic charter deployment. Aviation tracking monitors show a record surge in overall enforcement flights, surpassing 1,700 monthly domestic and international flight movement. And yes, at the very same time, authorities have increasingly blocked tail numbers from commercial flights, tracking website and deployed dummy call signs as well. Well, the goal is clear: maximize operational efficiency, cut down on public tracking, and escalate the velocity of expedited removal. Well, the reconstructing of DHS flight asset, it is directly tied to a major policy shift unfolding inside public airport terminals. DHS has formally revoked prior policies that permitted foreign nationals without permanent status or clear domestic documentation to board domestic flights. Through expanded collaboration between ICE and Transportation Security Administration, federal agents are actively conducting pre-flight document checks and terminal sweeps across major airports. In the meantime, legal experts warn that commercial travel has become a high-risk touchpoint. When a foreign national purchases a domestic airline ticket, passenger data is cross-referenced against the federal databases. For individuals experiencing legal gaps, such as pending green card adjustments, delayed H-1B grace period filing, or expired status extension, domestic airport security check-ins, it can instantly trigger the federal interference here. So, does this aggressive enforcement and logistics shift affect high-end individuals, specifically Indians? Well, first, it highlights zero-tolerance enforcement posture currently operating across all DHS divisions. Secondly, for H-1B holders undergoing employer transfer to perm delays, travel within or outside the US, it carries a lot of procedural risk. Immigration attorneys, they strongly advise carrying all the original approval notices, physical I-91 record, and updated employment verification document whenever traveling domestically by air. And third, the scaling of ICE flight capacity, it means expedited removal timeline are faster than ever. Once there is a removal order, the turnout time from detention to removal flight, it has been from weeks to days now. It has been cut. Well, as DHS continues to optimize its charter fleet, contract logistics, and airport security coordination, foreign nationals in US must take active steps to safeguard their legal standing. Now, here's the critical action step for NRIs and visa holders moving forward. Audit your I-94 and removal notices regularly. Ensure that your underlying status and employment authorization are active before booking any air travel. Avoid domestic air travel during status gap. Well, if you are between status transfer or waiting on an EAD extension, well, just avoid to travel for some time. Do not rely on digital copies alone when traveling through major transportation hubs.